Fala galera, estamos começando mais um episódio da série Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. Vamos lá. No episódio passado a gente derrotou o Rei Boreas, né? E aqui agora a gente tá aqui, acho que um trecho para explorar, que a gente ainda tem que encontrar a bruxa branca, né? Cadê? Oh, inferno.
What's this? It looks strange.
Vou logo pipocar tudo aqui porque... Caralho. por aqui.
Careful now, that's a trap.
As hot as the hell you will soon inhabit!
Looks like we found the prison all right. The White Witch must be around here somewhere.
If she hasn't been tortured to death in this hellhole.
I've spotted something interesting.
What, mate? Yeah? I'm Tyler, mate. What?
Now, this is valuable. There must be a way out of here. There must be a way home. Maybe hell if I know. All I did was ask for a phone and these monsters threw me in this dungeon. They asked so many questions, but I had no idea what any of it meant. And it's full of dead bodies and vermin, and the snow people seem to be in charge. Well, it'd be pretty fantastic if I knew what the hell were happening. Where I am, what I'm doing here. I've got a life, you know, a house, a car, friends and a family waiting for me. I have no idea what's going on. One minute I'm out on a jog with my dog Rocky, and the next I'm headfirst in the snow with snowmen all around me, and they're talking and poking me and demanding to what? No, I'm not crazy, please.
Certo, tem que estar together.
You there, please, you've got to hear me out. I'm no sorcerer. I don't even know what a sorcery. I have no idea. Hell, if it's full, will it be what? No,
porta ali.
Sigurd's beard! What a find!
Oh, caralho.
I've got my eyes on the prize.
Caralho, a galera é muito boa, meu irmão. Caralho, puta que pariu, viu? Deixa eu ir sozinho que é mais fácil. Depois eu envio aí o...
Oh, what's that gleam? Oh, what's that gleam?
Caralho. A galera se supera, viu? Não, pera aí. Minha Nossa Senhora.
Oh, what's that gleam? Fortune!
Salve aqui pra mim.
Winter King has woven ice too rare and powerful for mere fire. Source Hunter, you have found us. Here she is at last, Ícara. Oh, but look at her. She has been encased in ice so unyielding that you find me at a loss. I admit it. For I've no idea what sorcery, or dare I quite so. Boreas is dead and the seasons have been freed. I don't know how long she'll last within that ice. There must be a way.
I'm freezing here!
Returned. Have you yet determined, Source Hunter? It would be my sincerest honor. Take this rune.
We best be on our way then. The spring and autumn kingdoms won't rule themselves, you know. May our paths cross soon, Source Hunter.
Damnation! Not even a crack!
White Witch, then. And you're sure you want to free her, are you? Even our mad Boreas, but I am in your debt, and I would be remiss not to honor your request. Shield your eye.
Gods, it's colder than a witch's teat. How very callous of Leandra to inter her only sister in a barren tundra for—
Ícara, you're all right? The ice, King Boreas,
And yet not even a frigid hell like this could induce you to put on a shirt, could it, Ahu? My old friend, surely I have you—
That honor goes to a pair of talented source hunters, actually. If not for their efforts, I'd be quite—
Then perhaps I ought to address my savior directly. Source Hunter, is that well?
What a motley crew we are. Isn't there somewhere a bit warmer we might discuss matters?
First things first, Source Hunter. For my freedom, I owe you every imaginable thanks. My soul had withered in this prison, and I'm— Now, about the culprits. My corrupted sister and the mad Winter King. When I realized exactly where, and to whom Leandra was consigning me, but neither she nor I anticipated the Source Hunter.
I never would have imagined Leandra capable of dealing with the likes of Boreas, but she has changed into someone I hardly recognize anymore. Ah, yes, of course, of course. Do pardon me. I didn't mean to imply you were very clearly eternal beings in the guise of minor mortals. Not at all, please. Oh, yes, I suppose I am. But I do prefer my given name. Ícara, that is. But I hope I haven't disappointed my own hero. Am I just as white and witchy as you'd hoped?
I take no pleasure in the memory of that night. The thought of hurting anyone, or if you've come this far, I trust you've learned that the counselor was far from a humble civil servant. This doesn't excuse my behavior. It's a sordid story, to be perfectly frank. Two sisters, a philanderous, treacherous wizard, death and mayhem. Are you sure you're interested in such things? The sparkle in your eye belies your better nature, Source Hunter. Now I know that it is your duty to get to the heart of this. And, in truth, the events of that night were but one part of a larger—
Now that terrible night.
One night, as I slept, I had a sudden revelation. No dream, but a vision. My sister Leandra and my lover Zandalor. I didn't understand, but I recognized their location. Syceel's King Crab Inn. I arrived and looked through their window, but inside, everything was wrong. Leandra had fled, and Counselor Jake stood over the wizard, a knife in his hand and hate in his eyes. As I watched, he drove the dagger deep into Zandalor's heart, and I was too late to stop him. In that moment, I broke. I saw before me not a man, not even a beast, but evil incarnate. And I used Source to slay him. On the floor lay Zandalor. In my hands, I held Jake's life force. I had sworn never to use Source, but I couldn't walk away. And so I did the unthinkable. I used the Counselor's life to save Zandalor's. He was alive, but only just. Betrayal. Murder. Source. We were all of us guilty now. If you were any other Source Hunter, I suppose you'd strike me down where I stand after that terrible admission. Fortunately for us both, my own little sister, if you can imagine it. She was always the more ambitious, the more exacting of us. Her collusion with King Boreas in imprisoning me here confirms my worst fears. She is planning something far greater than for this reason, and with a heavy heart, I must ask you, Source Hunter, to find out how far I hate to extend my own invitation, Source Hunter, but I believe I ought to accompany you to Zigzax's hideout. Presumptuous, yes. Both he and you must learn more about the darkness that has extended itself into our dearest Rivellon. Ah, but unless that's a bear flailing through the threads of time, I do believe Master Zigzax is on his way.
Hunters, you've done it! Ícara is free! Ah, what good it does my impish heart to see her safe and bright as ever! We have much to discuss. Come one and all to the end of time. A spot of something warm and the soft glow of the tapestry ought to do us all a bit of good, There you are, Ícara. Now, if we're done playing hide and seek, let's not waste a jot more time. Oh, I just can't wait to pick your every synapse.
After you, Master Zigzax.
So that's the White Witch, eh? I expected someone a little more evil. I can't say I'd cut her down from a stake, but she sure has fewer horns than I expected.
Here is a woman clearly deserving of respect, Medora. Please, for once, let not your source-addled presumptions cloud your judgment.
We've solved the murder and caught the culprit, yet this case feels anything but closed.
There's more to this crime than simple fact. Killing a killer is hardly the same as killing an innocent, after all.
We'll have to learn more before...
both are. Marvelous. Your efforts have borne even. The Weaver's been hard at work with the thread Starstone has borne her, and a whole portion of history has been rewoven. Rejoice, my friends, rejoice, for now we witness a tale from the eon.
After the war was won, the Void Dragon remained a great threat to all existence. And so, upon the anvil of creation, the God Box was crafted. The Void was locked within, but still the question remained: who would guard the box? The two generals offered themselves. They would give up life and glory to stand sentinel. Transformed into immortal beings, they would be the Void's eternal guardians. They placed the box and the guardians in the first garden, home of Astarte and of the world's most beautiful power, Source. For time immemorial, the Guardians stood by the God Box, no longer human in body or in mind, but duty personified.
bloodstone, as powerful as it is sinister.
So that is who we were. Demigod guardians of the God Box.
Demigods, immortals. I like what I'm hearing.
As do I.
I salute you, my master. Other elementals lie in wait until with a word you command them to action. Which one of them, pray, has your preference? And that is your final choice?
Yes, it is.
Yes, indeed.
Thy will be...
Oh, it's so cold in here, it hurts.
I think my very words may
You
freeze
say
and fall to the
they
ground.
have your loyalty still, despite their utter failure. Foolish creature. Chain your fate to theirs, and you are chaining it to certain downfall.
That remains to be seen. I do believe they will remember. I do believe I will serve them again despite your tricks.
Always am I the trickster, always am I the malefactor. Yet all I do is speak the truth. They failed before, and they will fail again. The void, I can see it approaching in their eyes.
By the hoary beard of Boreas, can it be? You've come home. It's about time, isn't it? Your quarters have been invaded by all manner of madness. My brilliant frost beguile you? I am ice, of course, a soldier of ice to be explicit, and this is where I have dwelt across many eons. Here I wait for the day, if ever, I am called to serve the realm again. Of course, alongside my opposite, the eternal fire, we were summoned in service of a goal greater than the timeless battle between heat and cold. Yes, those were times of great proportions, the forces of nothingness pitted against those of life,
and naught but ourselves marching to the beat set by our great leaders could stop the void's encroachment. Could I be more explicit? This place is of your essence. Can't you feel it in your very bones, as I do in every crystal of frost within me? You belong here, and this place belongs to you. I cannot tell you why or how. Your home, your rules, naturally. What would you like to know? Off to explore your abode, are you?
Refreshments? Dear Starstone Commanders, I do apologize for the stick. That's right. These red little blighters appeared as out of nowhere when another one of the portals became active. God, 7 or 700 if there's... I know, but really... They're zany, they're exasperating, they're unpredictable. A band of... Why, I'm not one of them. Not one of those exiles that were slaves to demons and... But talk to them if you must hear their history. I haven't the stomach for... No, what I need is the sound of a symphony, a whiff and a swig of old tasty wine.
Could fly straight to the void.
Well, aren't you going to leap through?
To the void?
Who knows what wonder awaits you?
The way up!
I sense an eerie presence here.
Yes. Like creepy crawlies down the spine. Demons.
You do not disappoint. I knew you would come this. No, you do not disappoint. Something much. You have our thankfulness, our eternal gratitude, the acknowledgement. Relent, guardians, relent. You did your duty long ago.
I wonder what he meant by that.
And I wonder why we had the thanks of those that long for the end of time.
I didn't expect to find the likes of you here. Fallen stars, forgotten, but you change quite considerably, I see. Yes, the divine is but a glimmer in the farthest reaches of your gaze. Well, perhaps I can help you. Yourself redone, of course. Your very parts and pieces reorganized into something simply better. I'd quite like to help you, my friend. But unless you've got a mark of talent to spare, no deal can be struck. I'd quite like to help you, my friend. But unless you've a mark of ability to spare, No deal can be butcher giving you dirty looks. Beggars spitting at your feet. I can certainly help you with that. But you'll have to offer me something in return. Everything has its price, after all. My autobiography will hardly serve you. What's far more relevant is what I see in you. Quite crucial, your...
I wonder how much of a spark it takes to set... What a wonderful place this is. A lovely locale to rest my weary belly. Far better than the hellish plains we imps are used to. Yes, I think we'll stick around. With your approval, of course. What's that? We have it. Marvellous. No, that hoity-toity historian thinks he's so much better than us demon thralls just because he was never actually enthralled by demons. And yet he's no more than a lackey to the gods, isn't he? What's the difference? Right you are. Grab a drink, sit you down, and let... We imps, you see, are a mixed breed of demons and some other long-forgotten race, which means we aren't as evil as the devils that begot us. But I'll be damned twice over if we aren't as clever. We hail from the realm of Nemesis, where demons have ruled supreme since, well, forever, really. Their knowledge of secrets and arc... Now, curiosity may have killed the cat, poor thing, but it enslaved us imps as well. We were blinded by the promises of knowledge the demons dangled. Yes, well, in hindsight it wasn't, but it seemed like a good idea. Here's what happened. In return for our fair share of demonic knowledge, all of us imps had to sign our names in an indestructible book called the Codex, which was to be considered an oath of servitude, a contract of give and take for mutual benefit. Fools that we were, we readily agreed, and thereby signed our way into slavery, for we had to do everything the demons told us to. Quite so. That's because one day a particularly clever imp amongst us devised an escape plan. If we would be able to steal the Codex and disappear with it, the demons would no longer be able to lay claim on us, for without the proof of the Codex, the contract between us would be broken. One night, as the demons lay sleeping after a most sordid orgy indeed, we stole the Codex and fled from Nemesis through a rift. Ever since then, we've been on the run, for our masters swore they'd... So all we do is run and hide ad nauseam. Eternal fugitives are we. Aye, aye, Captain. It kind of got lost, to tell you the truth. That's what happens after generations of flight. Things get misplaced. And yet, wherever that bloody book may be, up until now, the demons still haven't found it. So, good news there. Only a matter of time until they do, though.
Every year?
No need for shove. Every year. But don't call me majestic for nothing, dear. Hello, hello. Yes, please do make yourself at home. This is your home. Recently what? Oh, events. Well, we imps are quite happy here indeed. We've been chased all over Rivellon, but...
spark it takes to zap a human to vapor.
Say, have you seen my magic box? It's got all kinds of wonders stashed inside. You know what are great? Jokes. Oh, I could tell a joke or two. Free on a good day.
This place, isn't there? No matter how forlorn it seems.
There is magic. Why? I see Master Zigzags has upgraded from his shabby little hut at the edge of the hour. From the fairy dimension to the, space-time weaver hunter imp one. What do you call it? Ha! Is that so? It seems I have my share to learn about the magical world yet. The end of time. Well, I must say, it's no small relief to find myself in a safe haven among such... We've a single order of business first and foremost. Leandra is gathering an army, and But first, we must learn more about Leandra's plans. How many of these so-called Immaculates does she have in her palm, and to what end is she directing them? Your journey must begin in the Lacula mines, where she has been accumulating materials and manpower for a purpose as yet unknown. The way will be dangerous. Her allies are growing more powerful and numerous by the minute. But we must discover exactly what Leandra is. A soul forge comes with its own benefits, Source Hunter. Though our connection has weakened, I still see the occasional vision of Leandra's doings, the pangs of her deepest felt emotions, and flashed one vision. I had thought it was only a nightmare, but now I see it was something much worse. Leandra is collecting materials. Precisely what, I cannot say. Her frustrations are rivaled only by her mirth. I can see she's growing closer and closer to achieving something dire. You must make your way deep into the mines to see exactly what she's planning. The way may be treacherous, but you must get inside. I fear my sister is... I believe the answer to that begins centuries ago, when your order was still cutting down so-called... Ours was a family of born sorcerers, you see. It was in our blood to interact with Source. Still, their meekness wouldn't save them from the Source Hunters. I am. But there is more to our kind than they teach at your academy. Source isn't only blood and madness. It's like lightning, an exquisite cup. We sorcerers are like metal steeples. Source is drawn to us, but what so many fail to understand is that Source can be controlled. The power drunk through history have abused it, and all the world's sorcerers have borne terrible consequences. Tell me, Source Hunter, in all your hours studying the arcane arts, did you ever hear, even once, that some of us were weak and gentle, that we could be simple forest folk? No. I doubt also that they'd mention that one day this hunt of yours would birth a broken soul powerful enough to inch all of Rivellon toward oblivion. No, that would be going too far and eschewing my own responsibility. I believe Leandra's long fall down did begin at the hands of some of your own. They came on a quiet morning. My mother was wild with fright and commanded me to hide myself and Leandra outside, among the trees. We climbed high into the branches of a nearby tree, and before we could look away, our parents were... The Source Hunters sauntered away, wiping their blades with pride. 2 more sorcerers dead, a job. From that moment on, everything was different. As we trembled in that tree, our fear and our desperation were so potent that the magic within us began to weave together. We would survive, thrive even, within those woods, never speaking to outsiders. Our soul forge meant that if one of Leandra's capacity was enormous, Source didn't frighten her, and she delved into that dark well with terrible regularity. I did my best to guide her, but she fast out. My sister and I were mired in a solitary existence. Witches among the trees. Leandra especially couldn't leave him be. He was a feast of information, and she wouldn't rest until she'd absorbed every bit of not their days were spent on charms, hexes, and the like. At night, Leandra would wander off to practice what she'd learned, and Zandalor and I would... We were a content trio, the three of us, but base impulse would... As you know, Leandra and I were soul-forged. This offered us a window into one another's souls. I knew Leandra had developed feelings for Zandalor, and she knew I had too.
To the void? I think I could fly straight to the void. Oh!
But it was me to whom he confessed his love. Those quiet evenings together had captured his heart. Her heart broke the moment we announced our new attachment, and I felt the pain of it as sharply as a knife. She fled. Without my connection to her, our soul forge grew weaker. It was as though some third entity, a parasite, were I believe that our soul forge has been damaged. By what? I can only guess. The fraying of the bond between us has left Leandra adrift in a well of sorrow she truly believes will never end. What she needs is a hand, my hand, out of this abyss. If our soul forge is repaired, I am certain she'll cease blazing this path of destruction. I cannot condone the terrible things she's done, but I can seek to understand them. With our soul forge in such tatters, I believe What's more, I sense a terrible force bearing down upon the bond between us. It is hungry, and it consumes ever more of Leandra's mind and soul. I cannot say exactly what this... If I could only repair the forge, I'm so...
Beleza, galera, vamos ficando por aqui com esse episódio. Se gostou, deixa o like, compartilha aí. Valeu!